happens after 3 minutes of flight.
Ooh.
Again,
Hello?
good here at the ASOC.
Is
Richard
anyone
Jones
there?
pulled
Good
his
morning.
team, the NASA operations
Can you guys
manager,
hear me?
and all of them are
Maybe?
go.
Flight. Channel 1 and air to ground 1 are now merged, going to air to ground 1.
Roger.
We'll send it back to the host desk.
Wait, what am I
Delta
doing?
Flight,
Okay.
air to ground 1, ready for contact with Starliner and Channel
Can you guys hear me?
Roger.
Can you hear the
Starliner,
feed?
LC, contact on channel.
Is this working? I tried my microphone with better sound to make all of this better.
I have you loud and clear also.
Yes. Awesome. Yay.
Houston,
Okay.
air to ground 1.
Excellent. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Houston, Starliner, loud clear.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I hope this is better.
Air to ground 1.
What should I do? Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1,
test flight.
camera
Boeing
2,
is working towards certification.
camera
To
1,
do that, there are a total
camera
of
2.
87 flight test objectives and many more
You guys tell
operational
me.
capability checkouts. So take a look at some of the main objectives with the crew.
Good
on board. I'll
morning.
go through a couple of them here. So they will demonstrate the capabilities of
You and me both.
crew-related equipment. The crew will perform hatch operations.
Camera 2? Okay, I think
transfer
this is camera 2, right?
emergency equipment. They will also evaluate the vehicle and transfer cargo while in dock
Correct.
configuration. They'll conform functionality of manual piloting.
All right, where are we at?
And
13
deorbit
minutes.
with
Okay.
successful separation of the
I
crew
feel like I've missed a
module
whole bunch
from
of the chat.
the
Everything
service
looks like it's
module.
looking good.
And finally, they will demonstrate Starliner's entry and descent.
And I have my
13
giant tea
minutes
mug.
and 24 seconds
So
from only the sixth
I'm
time
ready to
NASA
go.
astronauts will launch on a new spacecraft designed for crew. And if you're curious about the previous 5 flights, we have you covered. Check out our video here.
Okay.
Mercury Redstone 3 was the first test flight.
Is
Alan
it?
Shepard,
Is
May
it?
5th,
Is it?
1961.
Gemini 3 with astronauts Gus Grissom and John Young launched March 23rd, 1965.
Apollo 7, October 11th, 1968, with Wally Schirra, Don Isley, and Walt Cunningham.
Not me. Not me. I don't say it.
STS-1 launched with astronauts John Young and
There's
Robert
13
Crippen,
minutes,
and it
yep.
launched April 12th, 1981.
I know.
Starliner, Houston, your suit fan Bravo is repowered. It looks good. Please close the visors. Column closed.
We saw video there of Demo 2.
I kept as I was
May
getting ready.
2020, Doug Hurley, Bob Benkin.
Checking Twitter,
And
being
then, of
like,
course,
yes,
today,
yes,
NASA's,
just looking
and
for
Boeing's crew flight test
looking for
with
that S
Butch
word, and I
Williams,
didn't see it.
Butch Wilmore, and Sonny Williams.
You know, Mike, 12 minutes and 15 seconds to go. How are you feeling?
I am excited.
Oh, it's
I'm
still hot.
grateful to ULA and Boeing and NASA team.
Arm
that we are
retraction,
sharing
good.
Historic moment together. Go Starliner.
Yeah, our hearts and well wishes are with Butch and Sonny as they make history testing what is poised to be the second commercial crew vehicle that is certified to ferry people to and from the International Space
I
Station.
feel like this
so
is
with
still
11
quiet. Let me
minutes
make
and
this
46
louder.
seconds to go, let's send it back over to ULA's Dylan Rice and Boeing's Lauren Brennicke to walk us through the final moments of today's launch countdown. Let's do it, guys.
Who's on helium?
Let's
That
do
girl?
it, Megan. We just heard the Starliner readiness poll is a go. We know the crew's visors are down now, so we are moving along smoothly into the final 11 minutes and 30 seconds of this countdown. This is an instantaneous launch window today, which means that we will launch when the orbital path for the ISS aligns with the Space Coast. Once we get into orbit, Starliner will be working
Okay.
to catch up with the space station, eventually reaching speeds of more than 17,500 miles
Aw,
per
poor
hour.
Megan.
It'll take about 25 hours or so to get there.
Oh.
And we are going to be watching here any minute
Minus 11 minutes.
Stay in.
for the crew
Arm
access arm.
control, so the crew access arm for launch. Roger.
Right on cue. Crew access arm.
Yeah, I feel like all these people are
Starliner
great. Every
away
time I watch one
on
of
the
these, I feel like
spacecraft.
you don't really get someone where you're like,
Dylan,
what
we
is
will watch
that
it
guy
move very
doing here?
slowly today, but it could move much faster if needed.
Butch and
That's right, Luana. It
Sunny.
takes about 2 minutes.
I know
to
I'm not
get
as
the
nervous as I
120
was last
degrees
time,
back
but
in
like
base
also
of
maybe because I'm
Starliner,
just
to its
so
straight
jilted
position
now.
and
I don't
hold
know.
position until
Last time I was like,
start. Here we go.
but maybe I will. I'll see you in
But we
7
could, in
minutes, right? When I'm
the
like
event of
sweating it.
emergency, redeploy it in less than 15 seconds.
It's amazing that it can do that. We hope to not have to ever see that happen. After
Well,
liftoff
it's your
today,
fault, Neil.
Brandy and Jim will
That
continue
hashtag
commentary
is
from
all your fault.
Houston through ascent, spacecraft separation and the orbital insertion burn. We will have the shot of Butch and Sunny inside Starliner until the moment of launch, and then we will get it again when we get to the ISS.
L minus 10 minutes.
Flight, verify CST 100 on internal power.
If I type the
Verified.
correct thing on the keyboard.
Starliner, configure ordnance for launch.
I don't get it. What do you mean?
Touch and word.
All right, the spacecraft is running completely on its own now. And they are configuring ordnance for launch. That means the devices that initiate our separation events are ready to support both nominal and contingency operations that,
Roger.
that happen or could happen during ascent.
Can you imagine right when it launches? I'm just like, whoa, messing with the camera, like obnoxious.
Status check
Goodbye,
is the final
Marion.
report from each operator indicating that their system, whether it be a ground control system or a launch vehicle system, is ready to execute the
Zing.
final 4 minutes of the countdown to launching the rocket. At this point, if there were
Oh,
an issue, the anomaly team
yes.
would be
Sorry.
discussing it. But
Now I
looking
get
like
it.
that
Now
is
I get what you
happening
mean.
right now.
Yes,
All
yes.
quiet.
Make sure.
I'm expecting to hear all
In
members of
8
the
minutes,
Star
you're like,
Go, led by
woo,
Chief
in your
Launch
work
Conductor
chat.
Doug Lebo.
And we're actually hearing on a side channel that they are preparing for the launch vehicle system.
So many people
The long
at work
one. A lot
today.
of people view this as their favorite poll. It's kind of fun to listen to them list off each system, and then that team will give a final go or no go for launch.
I feel like
And we will
everyone
be
in my
able to
chat
watch
except for
cameras on
me
the
is
rocket
working right
today,
now,
and live
which I
telemetry
admire. Good for you
feeding back
guys.
will provide a real-time look at the spacecraft model when video isn't possible.
Also, did you guys see the date for that SpaceX launch or the Starship launch? Last night, I think I saw that it might be tomorrow and it might be at 6 a.m. my time, 6:30 my time, something. I'm like, what? What are you doing to me?
L minus 8 minutes.
Under 8 minutes before Butch and Sunny head back to a place they consider home. Both of them have spent 2 different stints of about 6 months.
Yeah,
on the
it's
International
like
Space
the window
Station,
starts 7
and
a.m.
they
Central,
are
which I think is
thrilled
6
to be
a.m.
going
my
back for
time.
a
So
third
I'm like,
time.
I really want to stream one of Starship's launches, but I'm like, really? Really?
Sunny told me she even cried the last time she left the space station because she didn't know if she would ever
Like,
go
literally,
back.
my coffee shop isn't
That
even
this
open
flight
yet
is
when I
meaningful
woke
to
up.
her
So, no
LC
cake,
control.
guys. No
Go
cake.
ahead.
True action
Yeah, I'll
launch
keep an eye
straight
on it.
ahead.
I mean, I don't know.
Roger.
In a fit of insanity, I
LC
could be
switch
here
to ready
tomorrow morning
position.
streaming Starship. I mean, I don't even,
All
I'm like,
sets
is it
complete
even
for
light out?
status check.
I don't even know. I know. Could be. Could
Let's
be.
listen in to Chief Launch Conductor Doug Lebo conduct that final terminal count status check as we prepare for launch.
Oh.
L minus 7 minutes.
Get it together,
Status
Neil.
check to proceed with terminal count. Atlas systems, propulsion,
Go,
hydraulics,
go,
pneumatics,
go,
LO2,
go,
water,
go,
sensor
my
systems,
favorite parts.
propulsion,
Go.
pneumatics,
Go.
LO2,
Go.
LH2,
go,
has gas,
Go.
electrical systems, airborne,
Go.
ground,
Go.
facility,
Go.
RFFTS,
Go.
flight control,
Go.
GCQ,
go,
op support,
I think this is where I came in
Tom.
last time.
Go.
umbilicals,
Go.
arm control,
Go.
ECS,
go,
redline
T,
monitor,
go.
quality,
Extra
Go.
large mug,
op safety
go.
manager,
Go.
ULA safety officer,
Go.
vehicle system engineer,
Go.
anomaly chief,
Go.
range coordinator, clear to proceed, flight director,
My channel, go.
In flight. Go.
Starliner,
Starliner. Go.
launch director,
I heard a Starliner go.
Permission to launch.
proceeding with the count.
Okay.
ALC,
Now I'm starting to get nervous.
verify T0 set for 14:52:15 Zulu.
Cross
Verified.
fingers, go. That pit in my stomach, go.
Starliner, net is clear.
Oh, terrible. I hope
Thank
not.
you, LC. For everybody listening, just a thought. Sonny and I, as we were traveling to the pad, we saw many American flags, and many of you were waving flags at us. And then as we reached the pad, we look up, and of course there's that American flag on the side of the white room. Also one on the side of the rocket itself. And we know that that represents unity and resilience and unified efforts for the common good. And that's what Sonny and I have witnessed this last month. Each of you displaying what this nation's forefathers envisioned, a people committed to God, family, and country, a people who use their gifts and talents for the common good and are passionate and tough. And we all know that when the going gets tough, and it often does, the tough get going. And you have. And Sonny and I are honored to share this dream of space flight with each and every one of you. So with that, LC, let's get going. And let's put some fire in
You're
this
going to make me
rocket,
cry, Butch.
and let's push it to the heavens where all these tough Americans have prepared it to be.
Let's go, Calypso. Take us to space and back.
LC flight, Starliner configured for terminal count.
On my mark,
Roger.
the time will be T-minus 4 minutes and counting. 3, 2, 1, mark. 3:55.
Resumed for
Ground
on-time
power is enabled.
liftoff.
Just beautiful words from Butch there. No better example of unity on this planet.
But also,
than what
it's like,
happened
you
to
know,
the
you're on
International
top of
Space
this
Station.
thing about to literally blow you out of our
Revolutions are
planet,
ahead.
and you
Just
like
4
have a
minutes and
speech
30
in your head that you're
seconds.
going to say. You have some words. You're just like dropping that. Like, what? Who are these people?
Atlas boosters hydraulic steering systems now pressurized for launch.
Fair enough. I like that we're still seeing the clock, though, guys. That's a good sign.
Starliner's LAS prop valves are configured for launch. The propulsion valves that need to be open in the case of an abort
Yeah,
from
I
the
mean,
pad.
it's just like crushingly so. It's crazy.
Pressurizing Atlas tanks. Securing LO2 topping.
250.
My chat is so fancy.
FTS internal.
Whew, okay.
Flight software is in ascent mode. It is now set for the uphill climb.
All right, 2 minutes, guys.
159. Vehicle internal.
Holy smokes. All right.
155. Launch sequencer start. 150.
Securing Centaur LH2.
Securing Centaur LO2.
Vehicle is now transferred to its onboard batteries, and topping is
140.
completed.
Launch enabled. 137. FTS armed.
You guys are ridiculous. I know. It's just hitting me now too, because now I'm like feeling like we're past the point.
120.
Oh, don't say it, Marion.
FCS count started. EDS ascent.
Starliner, last arm to auto.
Last arm auto.
Roger.
That call meaning if the emergency detection system on Atlas
minute.
detects something,
Rock report range status.
Range green.
it will
54. POP started.
It will trigger the launch abort system on Starliner and fire automatically. If that happened, the spacecraft would push itself away from the rocket a mile up and a mile
40.
out.
Atlas at flight fresh.
30. Centaur at flight press. 25.
Status check. Go Atlas. Go Centaur. Go Starliner. Godspeed, Butch and Sonny.
Man. Okay.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Oh, we're really doing
5,
it. Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff of Starliner and Atlas V, carrying 2 American heroes, drawing a line to the stars for all of us.
Commander Butch Wilmer, they're calling down to Mission Control here in Houston that the spacecraft has begun rolling into the right attitude for its ascent, and the guidance, navigation, and control officer here in the room seeing good data on that.
Go, 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 go. Bye, Earth. Bye. See you in a week. And change.
Air friction are highest, which Sunny will shortly be passing for Mach 1, where the speed is sound.
All right. Come on, come on, come on.
You got a good throttle up.
Starliner and Atlas. Looking good with speeds and attitude increasing as expected. Coming up in less than 20 seconds, the solid rocket boosters will run out of fuel and burn out.
Yeah, they're getting better and better at this every time.
Good SRB burnout.
Good SRB.
Now that the fuel in the solid rocket boosters has been depleted, the Atlas main booster stage will be continuing its burn for about the next 20 minutes.
Go. Oh,
Good handle.
curvature. Hi, curvature.
Good handle.
That call, good handle from Capcom Joshua Kutrick, indicating that the crew now has the ability to initiate an abort manually if needed. All looking good so far. Now 2 minutes into Starliner.
There go. Wow. That flipped in an interesting way.
Mark.
Huh. Wrong channel. There's a different channel for that.
CLG and yet good trajectory.
I don't know.
CLG.
The solid rocket boosters have now been jettisoned after seeing Starliner through its first 90 seconds.
I just wonder
flight.
why it
Team on
tumbled.
the ground here confirming
It
that
looked like
was
it
a good
tumbled
jettison, and the
forward
vehicle's
unless I was
trajectory
not
continues to look
seeing it
good.
correctly, rather
Now,
than
3 minutes into
that.
today's
It looked like it did this as it went away. But maybe it was just sort of the angle playing tricks on me. But those people still come in my comment section. You guys must see them, and I'm perplexed. I'm like, why? Why are you here? I don't understand. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, and ISET's already there, right? All of it. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. Mm. Did you see that go by? I'm really liking this angle.
Atlas booster now throttling back to limit the G-forces on Butch and Sunny, trying to limit that to around 3.5 times the force of gravity you would feel while on the ground.
You've never seen them? Really? Because I don't really delete comments, so it's like when I see them, I'm like, sorry, I disagree. I don't know what else to say. Aw. Now it's the CGI view. Boo. Boo. Yeah. Real views, real views.
Staging.
here in the ground.
Decals open. You have sublimator rack.
Oh, did you?
Sub act.
But was he outside watching the
Right.
eclipse
ground
with
reporting
you?
they saw-
And then also, I have many
They saw the
questions.
accident covered on top of Starliner that's been protecting the spacecraft's docking system through its climb into orbit. They saw that jettison as planned.
Staging was good. You have good control.
But to be fair, I don't really know all the
And now
details
the face
about
of
like
the second
that
stage's
whole
two Centaur engines have
belief
ignited,
module. Like,
pushing
are all the
Starliner
planets
into
flat?
space,
Just
fueled
our
by liquid
planets flat?
hydrogen and liquid oxygen.
So what shape
Next
is the
milestone that we'll be
sun? I
watching
don't,
for
you
is
know,
the
like I
August
don't really
1st
understand it.
jettison.
Yeah, this isn't bad too. They're putting cameras in groovy places now. Did you? Okay. It's like you want to know, but you don't really want to get too far into it. But also, I have many questions. But also, I want to walk away from this conversation whenever I want to.
Plus 31.
Plus 31.
Atlas Control reporting booster performance offset of 31 seconds of ISP. Or
I definitely feel more.
relative to its
Okay.
design
All
baseline
right.
of around 450.
Yeah, I've got a friend who has a sibling who is into that. And I've asked some questions, but I think it's like just sort of upsetting for their family. So, you know, like can't really get into it too much. Yeah. I mean, I suppose so, but aren't we all kind of very feelings oriented? I don't know. It's so specific. And then also like watching something like this where we literally watched it, saw the curvature of the earth. I don't know. Yeah,
Continuing to
I don't know.
perform well, almost 7 minutes into today's flight.
Good center.
They just feel like it's flat. Do you know what I mean? It's
Capcom Joshua
so
Kutrick.
specific. I'm just,
Continuing to pass
puzzled.
good news up to Starliner's crew. Last one reporting that the Centaur upper stage remains in good condition and is performing
But I think it's also that it's
pushing
clearly
into
like a
orbit.
very extensive conspiracy in their head, right? Because like, we're building things that are never leaving this planet. We are continually faking footage for 60 years. And now it's like, private companies all over the world are also in on it and faking footage. And all these people work for things that don't exist. I don't know. It's just so, I don't know. It's very niche. So I'm just, I do not pretend to understand.
Starliner is now entering its first guided abort range, where Starliner would direct
Okay,
itself towards
I've
a
heard that.
specific location in the event of abort. In this case, just off the coast of St. John's, capital of the Canadian province of Newfoundland Labrador.
There are some people at QGR who would agree with you. Come on, guys. Go back to one of the other camera angles. Please do it. Do it.
Starliner, Miko converged 11:5 to 11:52. Good perp. You're at 34 to 36 seconds.
11:52. 34 seconds.
That call letting the crew know that the main engine cutoff, MECO, should happen just about on time, about 12 minutes into today's flight. Another good indication that Starliner's ascent is taking along exactly as expected.
True story.
Main engine cutoff is a major milestone marking Starliner's arrival on orbit.
Yeah, it's huge. Like over many countries, over decades and decades, and
Still
just
got
like,
about
but
2.5
for
minutes
what?
until we
Like
enter that.
I'm so
With
confused.
spacecraft continuing to perform well, make its way towards orbit.
No action, Starliner, on the LCL. That's just the system coming up into controlling mode.
Outstanding. No action.
Once the main engine's cut off, the next step will be the launch vehicle separation. That's set to occur just short of 15 minutes after launch, when Starliner will separate from the rocket and fly free in space for the first time.
Like this little bottom bar down here is not moving at all, right? It's not just me. Like it's been stuck just past the ignition.
Flight dynamics officer reporting that at this point, Starliner could potentially make an abort
Starliner,
landing
yep,
off
good
the coast of
cooling.
Ireland.
No, no.
And they're, again, all continuing well, so we're not expecting to need that abort.
As Starliner is rapidly approaching orbital velocity, the abort region is only available for just over 1 minute, where Starliner would just continue up to orbit after that.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. But I mean, I get it. I guess it's better because usually they would just cut to like the control room, right? And we'd just be watching a bunch of people looking at monitors. But, you know, I'm spoiled. Oh, I thought before it was like slowly chugging along. It just jumps? Oh, maybe I didn't see that.
30 seconds, D'Amico.
Just 30 seconds to go. Now until main engine cutoff, marking Starliner's arrival on orbit.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if Starship does happen tomorrow and it's a loud truck that went by and I stream it the difference between their launches and this one because we've all heard the like frat party that is happening whenever Starship launches. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't doubt that it is, but you know, I like my angles, so.
Nominal Miko, Starliner.
How many 737 jokes can there be in this chat today?
And with that nominal MECO call, that's main engine cutoff. We've got good energy, meaning a good velocity for continuing to orbit, and a good plane, meaning Starliner's trajectory is aligned with the International Space Station for rendezvous tomorrow.
But like for the spacecraft separation, they're definitely going to get a camera angle for that, right? Right?
Extremely experienced
Right?
astronauts.
4:5 to 14:52.
1452.
They're both very experienced astronauts. The combined
I feel like there's a separate conversation happening in this chat that I'm not keeping up with.
Spacecraft that they've launched in. Both have traveled to the International Space Station via space shuttles and Soyuz and are now well on their way to repeating the journey via Starliner. It's also worth noting that Williams' role as pilot marks the first time that a woman has crewed a flight test of an orbital spacecraft.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, because Sonny's the pilot and Butch is the commander.
Joshua Kutrick calling up to Butch and Sonny. With the expected time, Starliner will separate from Centaur at about 14 minutes, 52 seconds into flight. Just under 2 minutes from now, or 1 minute from now.
Okay.
That is actually the last major
Classic
milestone
Neil.
for Starliner's ascent. All the hard work is done, but we need for Starliner to be flying on its own before it can begin heading towards the International Space Station. There's a slight pause in the action here while Centaur repressurizes and does some attitude control. We'll get into the right orientation to send Centaur on its way and then jettison it and move into the right orientation for the orbital insertion burn, which will come about 31 minutes into flight.
No action on the cabin temp, Starliner.
I know. You're me right now. I mean, I'm not going to fully boo-hoo, but like beautiful camera angles that I can just get lost in, please. Yeah, because I feel like the SpaceX launches, they don't even do these sort of like real-time animations. I mean, or maybe we haven't gotten that far. Or I mean, like with Starship, maybe it hasn't even gotten that far. I'm thinking, but I mean, I haven't watched any of them in real time yet. I only ever watch them in playback. Oh no, it's in the animation. Terrible. I mean, not terrible. Magnificent.
LV-SEP confirmed.
But still.
Good LV-SEP.
And now Starliner has separated from this Centaur upper stage. We have a big thank you to our partners.
I
at
know,
BOA
I know.
for providing purchase
What do you think?
of
This is a
these
regular
Centaur
Wednesday?
to space.
Oh,
That is
yeah, I
not
guess
the end
that's
of
a fair
today's,
point.
Orbit activity, though. The team will now be getting ready for
Yeah.
the orbital insertion burn,
I
which
guess
comes
that's a
31
good
minutes
point.
after
But I'm like,
flight.
you
So
guys haven't
that's
worked
still
it
about
out
15 minutes away
in
now.
any other way, really. But I guess Boeing has had bigger
Williams
issues.
and,
I guess also
will
too, this is
be,
sort of like this
getting their
first, like, you
tablets
know,
out, doing a few
Boeing's
other
launch.
activities
So
to
it's
get,
like they're gonna do it
Starliner
however
ready
they
for
do
that.
it. This is how they do it.
And that will be one of the that will be the first
But
in
it
a
actually
series
went,
of
you
burns
guys.
that will set
It actually
Starliner
went.
on its way to the International
Crazy.
Space Station.
Yeah, I mean, but once they get to ISS, it's, you know, it's video feed galore. I think it's the point is it's like there's these points between Earth and the destination where we lose the feed.
Once again, Starliner with astronauts
Ooh,
George Wilmore and Freddie
okay.
Williams on board launched from Florida to Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, Launch Pad 41 at 9:52 a.m. Central, 10:52 a.m. Eastern
Some of you
today,
guys sent
and
me
they have
your
now
Eclipse videos, and they
made
were so
into
much
orbit.
better than what we saw here.
You
So
had
much
good
better.
targeting for OI.
Good targeting.
With the
Don't let us down,
constant
Gerard.
targeting and information about Starliner's TDRS schedule being good means that we've got good communication with the ground. TDRS is the tracking and relay data satellites that Starliner uses to talk to the ground, and the flight controllers on the ground are seeing the dynamic.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if you could relay a message to our brethren at ULA.
We're all listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, they've been a member of the family for a long time, but now it's official, and we want to welcome them to human spaceflight.
They want to welcome who to human spaceflight?
Yeah,
I missed it.
and really appreciate the words.
And Houston Starliner, we are on the tablets and in insertion monitor.
Copy tablets, we're with you, insertion monitor.
So the crew have their tablets out, so no longer using the paper procedures now that the vehicle has stopped moving so quickly. So there's a handful of things that the crew's going to do now, mostly just prepare the inside of the cockpit so they are looking at the right data to prepare for the upcoming orbital insertion burn. The vehicle itself has done a few things recently. Started to power
Isaiah,
on
I just realized your avatar
solar
is
rays on the back
Drew
of
Barrymore in
Starliner,
Firestarter.
and
That's
turning off
amazing.
several of the
I just noticed that for the first time.
thrusters that are no longer needed at this phase of flight.
Laying it on a big thick, you guys. What's up with all these Boeing stickers?
Upcoming in about 4 minutes, Starliner is going to start to orient itself in the direction it needs to do the orbital insertion burn. And the crew inside the vehicle will be turning the wireless access point on and allow them to stream some of the data from the spacecraft onto their procedure tablets.
And Houston Starliner, last arm is off. Backup control.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not. Well, if we had a camera, we could see, but they won't show us. These men in ties. They're professionals.
We copy off. Enable 1 is on. Enable 2
Hello.
is off. SMRCS.
Yeah, I'm blind. I don't know. I was looking at names and not really looking at your guys' little avatars, and I just noticed that. I was like, wait a second. What? What do you mean? We're already too casual as it is, Gerard. Have you seen Americans? Have you seen how we dress? It's outrageous. No, we need to be stepping up our game a bit. Got him. Got him. It's another conversation. I don't know what's happening. I mean, we can keep making jokes till they come back, safe and sound, right? I mean, I think that's fair. I think, but you saw the actual launch. I feel like you just missed some of the middly bits. Astronauts and sandals. Sandals with socks. Don't even get me started. I have a whole rant about flip-flops, which I'm not going to get into right now, but no extra casual. People are traveling on airplanes in their pajamas.
Starliner is
Like,
actually
I
designed to be
cannot.
pretty autonomous, and in fact, docked with the space station on its last trip around without the help of any crew on board. But we do still want to know that if needed, Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams could take control and manually abort the spacecraft's approach to the station if they needed to.
Don't say it, lady.
So to prove that, one of the few things on their agenda after they reach orbit will be to perform a test of the manual piloting mode.
No, it's the white socks that are the worst. People are like, white socks in their sandals. They're filthy, filthy white socks.
First
Oh my
pointing
God.
Starliner towards the Earth.
Horrendous.
So the communication antenna on the back of the service module is pointed at the satellites, the teeter satellites that allow it to communicate with the team on the ground.
Oh man.
They'll then
I mean,
resume
the more privatized it gets, the more
Starliner
outrageous some of
solar
this stuff
arrays
is going to
pointed at
get.
the
I
sun,
have
showing
no
they can
doubt
charge
it's going to get
Starliner's internal
wild in like
batteries
the
as
next few
needed.
years.
And they'll follow that up with a demonstration of the star trackers, one of the ways that Starliner determines where it is in space, pointing Starliner away from Earth so that the system,
There are cats on
that's
the socks.
system,
More acceptable.
can get a good look at the stars.
The next step will be for the crew to manually speed Starliner up and then slow back down, which will slightly raise and then lower their orbit and prove that they can manually break away from the orbit that the space
Yum.
station is in if they needed to. At that point, they can move on to the last items of the test.
Or those weird socks where there's like slots for the toes. Have you guys seen those socks? Like, what?
The light. So we're actually going to inhibit that particular sensor. We'll let you know.
I need better earbuds. I'm having trouble hearing with these guys.
Okay, great. Looks like we're on our way to thrust alarm.
Oh yeah,
Dietrich
it's all
calling
coming.
up
It's all
that,
coming, Neil. You know
crew
it
can
is.
ignore some,
I feel like right now everyone's still
alarm
kind of
they're seeing on
trying
the
to be NASA a
sensors
bit,
inside
but
the
then, at
Starliner.
some point they're going to be like,
just a result of one of the sensors being
we're
next
the
to a
edgy
light that's causing it to show
astronauts.
higher
We're
than it
the,
actually
you know
is.
what I
But
mean?
sounds
Like, it's
the
all
crew are pretty
coming.
comfortable and are getting into place for that orbital insertion. As I was saying, after they have manually broken away from the orbit of
Thank you for coming by.
that they can manually break away from the orbit of the space station, they are going to move on to the last items of their test for tonight. That's manually moving Starliner into the right orientation for re-entering the atmosphere, and then moving back into the attitude that will let them soak up some sun with the solar arrays and try a
Would
different
anybody
method of
come if I was
manually
streaming at
charging
6
the
a.m.
spacecraft.
tomorrow? I just feel like it's too early. Though you guys aren't on my
Again,
coast, so maybe it's just me.
that all has to wait until after the orbital insertion burn. This is again the first of several burns that will put Starliner on its way to the International Space Station. We've still got about 6.5 minutes until we fire up the engines for that burn.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. I see it coming.
Starliner, we did not see the hand controller deflection. Just wanted to know if you did that yet.
No, we'll get it now.
All good.
Because you guys are 8 hours ahead of me. Is that right? You're 8 hours. France is 9. Something like that. Ooh, all the good avatars. Eight hours? Let's... 8 hours. Okay.
Team on the
London
ground
is 8
saying,
hours ahead.
that everything is looking like it's in the right
5
configuration
8
for
5
the
18
orbital
there now.
insertion
Okay, so
burn.
you're even more
Now less
further.
than 5 minutes away. Starliner is currently about 102 miles above the Mediterranean.
Okay, so it'd be like early
heading,
afternoon for you guys. Okay.
southeast
Maybe.
over India in the next few minutes.
Yeah, you see a crazy bag lady with a very large mug streaming at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Starliner, good
It's
config
me.
for
Come
the
join
OI
me. Hmm.
Good config for OI.
That's right, Amsterdam. You said that. So you, oh yeah, okay.
And
So
good config from the
yeah,
OI
France
burn.
are in the same time
Crew and
zone.
ground
That makes
control is
sense.
noting that Starliner is pointed in the direction it needs to for the OI burn.
I mean,
Should also be
tomorrow,
about the time that
like
the
double
crew,
cups. I don't even know what I'm gonna do.
are
Like-
using their tablets for the procedures, also charging them, keeping them topped up for the rest of the rendezvous.
I've been to the airport,
We
and that's
unfortunately
it.
won't have
It's the
a
only
view
time I was in
of
Amsterdam.
Williams and Wilmore as they work through this procedure. Although we had a view of them from inside the cabin on the ground, Starliner isn't able to send that view to us again until it gets to the International Space Station. So you'll be seeing this screen quite a bit as Starliner was getting into the right position for the burn. And actually just now you can see some of the engines firing that help it steer and move around in space. And you can also see what attitude it's in at any given time. Lots of good information on the screen.
It is. A lot of this information actually directly mimics the views that the crew is seeing, especially
I
the
also
one in the
like,
upper
you guys notice that
left-hand
this is like
panel
100%
is
a
an
share
exact
screen.
copy
Like you can
of
see the
the
tabs on the very
display the crew
bottom,
is using for
like
their
on the
attitude
left.
directional indicator.
Like
It also
you can
covers
see,
what mode
I can
their
see the
translational
icon
and
for
controller
what is it, Microsoft
translational pointing
Edge,
is in
like,
on the left side. On the right
and
side,
like the clock at the
pointing
very
guidance,
bottom. It's like
which
100% some dude's
tells
monitor.
the Starliner in automated mode which direction to point, or when in manual mode, which direction the crew needs to move the vehicle, like we're going to do in some of the manual piloting maneuvers. And following back up a little bit on the camera conversation, there is a planned upgrade of the Mustang system that we should see on our PCM-1 mission that will include live feeds from inside the cockpit.
Yes, live feeds with
The
inside the
Mustang system is
cockpit. Do it,
the
guys.
cameras that we were seeing views from earlier.
That's correct. There's a handful of cameras around the inside.
But it's not
of
holes.
Starliner.
It's like
We
little.
often
It's
see
like
them
gloves,
from
like
kind of
gloves,
beneath
but
bush
for
and
your
sunny,
feet. So your toes
giving
each
one
have
of
a
the better
little
views,
slot.
without being
I
directly
think I
facing your face
put
while
it,
they're
tried them once,
inside
and I
the
was like,
cockpit,
it feels
during,
weird. Get it off. Get it off.
pre-launch. But once they're in orbit, they've gotten out of their seats a little bit, and we should be able to see a little bit more around the cabin.
Will, though, as you've already heard, continue to hear regular audio updates from the crew.
Yes, I remember it being nice,
Everything
but
going well now
it was
that
like, I was at the airport for like 5 hours or
Starliner
something,
is
and
just
then
under
that was
30
it.
minutes into today's flight. We've got about a minute and a half left
Thanks
to
for
go into
stopping
the
by,
orbital
Gerard.
insertion burn. That would be kind of the final end cap, really, to today's ascent.
Yes, weird
which
toe socks.
again
I don't
took
know.
place at 10:52 a.m. Eastern when Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams launched inside the first Starliner to carry
Minesweeper.
crew members on
Is that the
board
one where you hit the
from Cape
boxes?
Canaveral Air
And then one of them was
Space Force
that
Station, Launch
Minesweeper?
Pad
Yes,
41.
was that what that game was?
They made it to orbit about 14 minutes later, and now we are just again waiting for this first of
I
a
believe
series
it.
of burns that will set Starliner on its way to a rendezvous with the International Space Station. That is scheduled
Oh,
to take
it's like the
place
New York
at
subway down there.
12:15 p.m. Eastern, 11:15 a.m. Central.
Yes,
tomorrow.
Minesweeper. Completely forgot that that was the thing.
And we're coming up at about 40 seconds till the orbital insertion burn.
All
This
right.
burn is going to take Starliner out of its slightly suborbital trajectory and push it up to an altitude that will allow us to catch up with ISS for
Well,
rendezvous
also they're more like
later tomorrow.
rats and less mice, like big New York City sewer rats. So, there's that.
15 seconds left to go, and once again, you'll be able to see those engines.
But every time I
firing
see
on
them, I'm
this,
like, "Aw."
digital screen here
At the
to
same
show
time.
when the burn has started.
2 seconds. And flight controllers here in Houston, seeing 4 good OMACs, good
Yes,
burn.
pizza rat. Yes. Yes, this is all true. I was in New York for part of the 2020 portion of the pandemic, and yeah, even though the subways were like empty, it was so weird. But yeah, the rats were sure having a good time. Pizza rat.
We take a look. That was a good OI burn. You're maneuvering to NavCal 1.
Excellent. Handshakes all the way around.
Good eye burn.
Handshakes and clapping. Handshakes and clapping
with
and
that
standing
call
up and clapping.
Both crew and flight controllers agreeing that was a good OI burn. I'm looking at the trajectory plot here in mission control. I see our trajectory
Oh, yay. We're taking off headsets.
pointing
We're
us
like,
directly up to
woo.
the altitude we need to go to for the next burn. Right now, Starliner is moving into NavCal mode, or NavCal attitude. That's going to be the first of several positions that Starliner, directions that Starliner points itself to track some of the stars from the Starliner and update the position inside of the position orientation of Starliner inside of its guidance, navigation, and control algorithms.
Yay.
And of course, you're
It
seeing
worked,
lots
you guys. It seems like it
happy
worked.
faces and cheers here in
Oh,
Florida.
champagne bar, please.
Hey,
Love
everybody,
it.
glad
Love
to see
it.
Starliner safely in
That's
orbit
what I'd be
with,
doing.
Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams
If it wasn't
in tow.
8:25 in the
on its way to the
morning.
International Space Station for docking tomorrow at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay, 12:15
Once
Eastern
again,
tomorrow. They
Starliner
shall be
safely on
docking.
orbit has conducted a good orbital insertion burn and is on its way.
They're like, "Oh, hi, I'm Frank. What's your name?" Sorry, we just been trying to do this for years. This time.
Starliner Houston.
Go ahead, Starliner. Houston.
Yeah, you do have good cooling. The sublimator is working. We are watching it, though, because the water usage is just a little more than we thought we were going to see. You probably noticed that. It's a reason for the advisory there. From the ground, we'd like to swap you over to the other leg. So we're going to close sublimator leg 1, wait for about 60 seconds, and then open up leg 2. You'll see us do that. No impact or action.
Okay, we copy. We'll be watching. Thank you.
Yeah, I like as long as you put fruit in your alcohol, it's fine. You can have it in the AM.
Joshua Kutrick there again giving
Yeah,
the
definitely.
crew
They're like,
some
yeah,
points
yeah.
about
We're still here.
information they're seeing on orbit. This one related to sublimators, which are used to cool the spacecraft down. But just letting them know that there's nothing that they need to be concerned about. The team will keep watching that. In the meantime, as Starliner begins making its way to the International Space Station, we're going to check in with Rob Navius in the International Space Station Flight Control Room. Rob?
Yeah, thanks very much, Brandy. With Starliner en route to the station, the work now just beginning for Wilmore and Williams. First up, an important rendezvous burn called the NC burn. which will adjust Starliner's altitude relative to the station and begin to refine its path to the orbital laboratory. Flight Dynamics will be assessing the accuracy of Starliner's initial trajectory and will update any adjustments to that trajectory for subsequent maneuvers to be conducted over the next 24 hours. Now, we're expecting to hear the first of 3 audio reports from the crew during their free flight on how the ride uphill to orbit was before they move into what are called far-field demonstrations of the vehicle. That will include manual piloting tasks and a manual translation control test. That will prove Starliner's ability to execute
Huge
a
bucket
manual
list item.
docking if required, as well as an abort capability prior to docking. Keep in mind, we're providing continuous coverage now of Starliner's flight to the International Space Station. On Thursday morning, rendezvous operations will begin in earnest shortly before 10 a.m.
No, because they
Eastern
don't do
Time,
them. I mean,
leading to a
until
targeted docking
SpaceX
for
became a
Starliner
thing,
to
you
the
know, they were
station
always doing them in
at
Texas and
12:15
Florida, and
p.m. Eastern
a
Time.
state that is,
So please
both
stay
states
with
are
us
very
around the
far away
clock
from
as we
me.
bring you every minute
So,
of Starliner's
no.
flight. For now, we're going to sign off from the International Space Station
But
Flight Control Room
Hawthorne
here in
is
Houston
quite close,
and
so
go
I
back to Megan,
should
Dee,
figure
and Mike
out.
Fink at the Cape.
Yes, I should figure this out more.
And welcome back to the Space Coast of Florida, where about 36 minutes ago we witnessed the launch of a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carrying the first
Is this the
2
girl that you guys were
astronauts,
like,
NASA's Butch
helium?
Wilmore and
Helium
Sunny Williams,
voice?
inside Boeing's Starliner capsule to the International Space Station. The first time ever, Starliner now in the right orbit to rendezvous with the space station in just over 25 hours. How are you
good.
guys feeling? How was it to watch launch? Again, just right over the
Yeah, I
waterfront
just want to hear
right
kind of
here.
their wrap up, and then I'll
I mean,
probably
this
end the
is
stream in a few
extremely
minutes.
exciting. Obviously, a long time coming and a culmination of so much hard
Aw.
work by so many teams.
Her voice
But of
does.
course,
I mean, I
couldn't
know
be
it's not
even
this lady;
happier
it's
when
the
we
other
see
lady. It doesn't
Starliner
seem
dock, and
crazy
even happier
high.
when the
Just
hatch
high.
opens and we watch Sunny and Butch float into the International Space Station.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well said, Dee. I mean, this is exciting. We've built up to this moment for years and years, and it finally happened. I got to see a Starliner launch with my friends on board. How cool is that? And
I was gonna say
I
this
could
guy in the
I could
middle. He
feel
is an
like the
astronaut. He
whole
was an
planet was
astronaut.
cheering for them.
Yeah, it was really nice to see it happen. There were a lot of emotions here at the hostess among the 3 of us, as well as the crew that's supporting us here on the hostess. And it's just a history-making launch.
I
Sunny,
appreciate
again,
that.
the first woman to test an orbital spacecraft. That's amazing. And then again, the last time people flew to space in an Atlas-class rocket, 61
Her
years
voice is better
ago.
now.
CFT, this
Maybe
final
their
test
feed
to
was
certify
screwing her.
Starliner, and then once in orbit, the first time
Oh,
in NASA
okay.
history
Maybe
that
it was like a
the
technical
agency
thing.
will have 3 different crew spacecraft operating in space
I mean, it is also
simultaneously.
very
So the
windy where
International Space
they are
Station, SpaceX's
filming
Crew
right now.
Dragon,
Look at
and
that.
again, once Boeing
Like you can see
Starliner
the camera
spacecraft gets
shaking.
there, Boeing Starliner spacecraft. So really just like a lot to celebrate. It's amazing. You know, Mike, I know you've been part of a Starliner's journey from the very beginning, working alongside Butch and Sunny and all the teams across Boeing, NASA, ULA. So talk to us. How does it feel to see this rocket from your perspective?
I was so impressed all the way through the launch countdown and all the way through an orbital
I'm
insertion
gonna get a
burn.
second tea when this
Everything
is
was just
over.
like
Not gonna
the
lie.
final simulation exercise they give us back at Johnson Space Center, where they just give us everything nominal. And there we are. Everything was fine.
You be
no
nice to her.
hiccups, no
Be
drama,
nice to
nothing to worry
her.
about. And so I was really happy
She's like,
with
oh, I
Butch
forgot
and
to take my
Sunny,
anti-helium
and
shots.
for Butch and Sunny, and happy with the whole team. As Butch
Yeah,
said,
yeah. I'm
thank
like,
you to
holy
the United
smokes.
Launch
I mean,
Alliance for
those
picking
mics
it up.
are literally
Welcome them
like
to
just in front of their lips, but still.
club of rocket companies that can send humans into space. Now we just
No,
got
go
to get
coffee.
to
Get
the
a
space
coffee.
station
I mean, it's been
in
a day.
24-ish hours.
This actually happened, you guys.
The one under
But see,
the
Neil,
sky.
my
No
hashtag, no
kidding.
scrub, totally worked. So
And we've been asking for some questions on social media, so we still want to get to those because there have been a lot. So why don't we pull up one question here right now? This one's from Ramon. What is your favorite part of being an astronaut, Mike? Is it days like this?
Definitely days like
the
this,
fact that I'm
Ramon.
alive and I still did
Very
it
much
and
glad to be an
winning.
astronaut on this day. I think Butch and Sunny might be a little bit happier than me to be an astronaut today, but this is definitely a great day. And if you're not on the rocket yourself,
I know.
helping your friends
I
is a
know.
really great way to be an astronaut.
And so, Mike, talk to us about,
Agreed.
this is, again, a crewed flight test. Certification is what's next for Starliner. So what's the process to get us to your flight next year?
Well, first we have to Butch and Sunny. They've gotten to orbit. That's kind of step one. Now they got to get to the space station and complete their flight test objectives. Once they land safely in a desert somewhere with the airbags, and we'll analyze. The
Yeah,
Boeing
you guys
team
have seen
will
how this thing is
analyze
going to
the
land,
flight
right?
test data,
Supposedly, where it's
see
like these
if any
airbags
improvements,
at the
any
bottom,
changes,
and the
any
capsule
things that can be
lands
improved
like
and
on the
made, and then
ground,
we'll
but like
get
on
ready
these bags.
for us.
I don't. I saw this in
Post-certification
some
mission number
testing
1 that we
videos.
call
I don't
Starliner
know
1.
that they have
I think
changed that.
Dragon
Maybe
had a
they
similar
have,
one.
but
They
I
call
think
themselves Crew 1.
the
We'll be
landing
Starliner 1,
is
and
yeah,
we'll be
it
ready to
looks.
fly when the spacecraft is.
Choose my
Right.
adjective
And so obviously
carefully.
there's still a
It looks
lot on this
different. It
road
looks different.
for
So
Starliner. But when you do fly next year on Starliner 1, Mike, I know that there's a bunch of people here who are
next
very
year,
excited
well,
for you. So much
I mean,
so
we
that
don't really
they've
ever know
created
now,
a shirt.
but supposedly next
Oh,
year.
I love it. Mike Fink fan club. That's right. Oh, he's hiding, guys. He's hiding behind his computer right now.
I am deeply, deeply humbled.
I
Thank you.
know.
No, yes, yes. You know, it just goes to show that so many people are invested in Boeing and NASA and ULA working together on the Starliner program. So we celebrated together with the crewed flight test today and launch. And again, we still have so much more of the mission to go, and we can't wait for your flight for Starliner 1. All righty. Well,
Thank you
again,
very much.
thank you again to everyone who submitted questions throughout the broadcast. You really helped to contribute to the broadcast. And Mike, really great to have you here marking this historic launch with us.
It's great to be on the team.
All right,
and,
guys. It
you
seems,
guys
yeah,
both
like it
are
is
extreme
winding
professionals, as well as our production team
down.
and the PAO team that's
So maybe I will
right up
also
the hill
wind
from us,
down. Yeah, I
doing a
think it's
great
going
job
to take
everywhere.
them
Absolutely. And today's
like just
liftoff
less
could
than
not have
24
happened
hours, I
without
think,
the
to
many
get to the
teams across the
ISS.
country supporting this launch,
And then
which
I
of
believe
course
they're
is
going to
just
be
the
there for a
first of
week,
many
and
critical
then
milestones
they
for this
return.
flight test.
I mean,
Yes, thank
assuming
you.
all
So
of
our
this
coverage
goes
tonight,
still goes to
today won't
schedule.
end
So,
here. First up, we have our
in
post-launch
a
news
week,
conference
we could
starting at
be seeing the
12:30 p.m.
return.
Eastern Time right here on NASA TV, followed by continuous coverage of Butch and Sunny's transit to the International Space Station. Starliner is on course to dock at the station in just over 25 hours from now.
25
And then
hours.
the
Okay, I was
ISS
almost
crew
right.
will welcome them on board. Again, we will take all of that live on NASA TV, NASA Plus, and our social media channels.
You know, and their journey will provide the data needed to bring Boeing closer to having the continuous privilege of carrying astronauts to and from the space station.
Hey, and that's the perfect opportunity, right, to pull up this QR code we have ready for you. If you scan it, it'll take you to go.nasa.gov/CFT,
All right,
where you will find
so
everything you'd want to
they're
know
winding
about
down.
this crew
I'm
flight
gonna
test
wind
and also
down.
NASA's commercial crew program, which is
How do
why
I
we're
do
flying today.
this?
Mike, it's been great to have you with us. Your insight today was important and invaluable.
Okay, guys. Oh wait. Did I do that right? I did that right. Okay. Okay, guys. So I think yeah, I'll wind it down. I will keep an eye on if Starship's going to go tomorrow, if it really is going to go. I think tomorrow is the first launch window, and then I think every day, like for the next 3 days or something, there's continuous launch window. So I'll keep an eye. If you guys are interested, but it seems like the time difference is not so bad for you. I might stream tomorrow at 6 a.m. So we will see. I'll post on my community tab if I'm really doing it or not, and also on my Patreon. So I'll let you guys know. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. You guys are great, as always. I hope you had a good time. Yay, Starliner. And I will see you next time.